Well, in terms of inflation, even that extra money that you have to spend on popcorn, samosa or the cold drink at inflated prices in the movie hall could be a dampener. For consumers, for moviegoers who have been arguing that they should be allowed to bring in their own food and beverages if they don't want to buy overpriced snacks to enjoy their movie with, the Supreme Court today has put a dampener on that spirit. In hearing a case against the Jammu and Kashmir High Court's order saying that cinema goers should be allowed to bring in their own snacks, the Supreme Court today ruled that a movie hall is a personal private property and the owner of that movie theatre is well within their rights to charge what they wish to for the food that they sell there and the beverages that they sell there. Important rider though, the Supreme Court has also ruled that movie halls have to provide hygienic, clean drinking water free of cost, and those who have infants or small children could be allowed to bring in a reasonable amount of food. But what does that mean for cinema goers and consumers? To speak on this, I'm joined now by Rekha Agarwal, advocate in the Supreme Court. Ms. Agarwal, thank you so much for joining us this evening on the show. What do you make of this order, and do you think it's a blow to moviegoers who now really have no reprieve when it comes to overpriced snacks? It's a take it or leave it diktat, isn't it?
Absolutely. With utmost respect to the Honorable Apex Court of our country, in its wisdom, the Supreme Court has passed the order, and I'm nobody to sit in judgment over that. But be that as it may, this is indeed a big blow, a big dampener to the spirits of the moviegoers, to the common moviegoers, because it is not, possible for every cinema goer to spend a hefty amount of money on the snacks, which are, available only in the canteens or the, restaurants which are there in the movie halls. And they don't allow the moviegoers to bring their snacks or, even something as simple as a packet of biscuits or a chocolate or chewing gum and things like that inside, which are those kind of munchies which everybody wants to, enjoy at the time of watching the movie. So I think that as far as the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court is concerned, that yes, the movie hall is a private is a place which
Ms.
the
Agarwal,
owner can decide.
That's the important part. Is
yes.
a movie hall a private space or a public space? Because a lot of rules that apply in public spaces also apply in movie halls. Isn't
yes,
it?
definitely. So it is definitely a public place. It is a public place because a lot of the outsiders, the public, are coming. But the Supreme Court, in its wisdom, has said that since it is owned by a private individual, that person is entitled to set his own rules. So I will not, sit in judgment over what the court has said regarding public place or private place. But what is more important over here is the rights of the common man, the common cinema goer, who likes to just wind up his day by going for a movie and with his family, wants to enjoy with his family, because it is not as expensive as going to other restaurants, or five-star hotels. But over there, if he has to pay 100 rupees, for a samosa, which maximum costs about 10 or 15 rupees outside, or 100 rupees for a small box of popcorn. So I think that's a big dent on the pocket of the ordinary person.
Agarwal, if you look at what the judgment says, it's quite interesting because they say that nobody is forcing you to buy food and beverages from the movie hall. You can wait 2-3 hours without eating something.
Yes, nobody is forcing. Absolutely right. Nobody is forcing you to buy. But when one has to see the human psychology, when you see, it's like a mob mentality. It's a crowd. If everybody is, if most of the people, the person sitting next to you is enjoying a box of, carton of hot popcorn, or what they call the fancy tubs which they sell over there. A tub of popcorn costs about 100 rupees or a 200 rupees tub of popcorn. So, you may be able to control your own pangs of hunger and decide to deprive yourself of that joy. But what about your family? What about the little children you maybe be having with you? So you are, unnecessarily creating, by this example that, nobody is forcing you to buy the food from the
Yeah. Well, I suppose it will be a matter of demand and supply. That there will be a premium for snacks and beverages inside the movie hall as part of the movie going experience, to be honest. And what sets it apart from, watching a movie in the comfort of your home. But
Yes.
beyond the point, maybe even theatre owners charging too much will see a drop in demand. After all, people might not go as far as the example that the Chief Justice gave of buying your own nimbus and squeezing them into a flask to make a
Yes.
nimbu pani.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
let's be
So
reasonable.
yes, it has to be a reasonable,
Right.
reasoning. And I
Yeah.
think that over here that we can find a middle ground, over here. And what I would suggest is that let the cinema goers, if they want to overcharge or overprice or fix their own prices for the goods that they are selling over there at, maybe 10 times the price of what is being sold in the open market, then let the cinema goers at least, be permitted to bring their own food inside. And as long as, I would even go one step further over here and suggest that most of these cinema halls which are selling these goods over there, these food articles, they are selling them throughout the time, throughout the time that the movie is going on. It is not as if these goods are being sold only during the interval. So if these all these movies, they have a 15-minute or 10 minutes break, which is called the interval. The very purpose of an interval is to make sure that people make it comfortable for the movie goer to probably step out of the movie hall, stretch his legs, go to the washroom if he wants, and take a bite of food, or have a drink, or have a cold drink or a cup of tea or coffee, to make the experience more enjoyable. But on the contrary, these big fancy cinemaplexes that we are seeing or mushrooming all over the country, they are selling those food articles during the entire duration of the movie. It is not as if they're sold only during the interval, nor are they stopping the cinema goer from taking the food articles inside the hall. So what on the contrary, my experience has been that if the people all around you are munching away on popcorn and the children are screaming away for the popcorn or for some cold drink and spilling things here and there, on the contrary, it is spoiling the experience of the movie, because there's a
That
lot
I
of
think I think people
chaos
will
in the
have
hall.
differing opinions on that, because like you said, that's part of the fun, to watch and munch at the same
Yes.
time. Now, if you're willing to pay the price for that, please go ahead, because the theatre owners have every right to charge you a premium if they do. No one is forcing you to buy, but you can't stop them from charging you either. That's
So why not just sell it during the interval? Why not just sell all these goods only during the interval, number one?
I don't know
So
why.
that
Why would I want to restrict myself to munching for only 15 minutes, along with the loo break and the coffee break?
but isn't there certain thing? But isn't there a certain thing which is called discipline? When you go to school or when you go to office,
I'm going
are
to
you
a
eating the
movie,
whole
not to
time?
school, ma'am.
Or
It's a
when you go to
different
office,
mindset.
or
Anyway, we'll wrap it here.
any place at
But
all.
thank you so much, Rekha Agarwal, for joining us on this interesting chat. Well, as of now, it is definitely an advantage for the movie owners, the movie theatre owners. But at the end of the day, if your proposition isn't interesting enough in the time when people are willing to watch a lot of content on their couch, you will have to make it attractive to get them into the movie hall. Thank you so much for speaking with us.